Let's break down some more diagramming, taking it down to the phrase level before we work up to the sentence level. Okay, so let's just start with something very basic. A plate. What do we have here? Just two words, and I hope we can identify them. We can identify as a determiner. If you want to be more specific, an article. Plate is just a noun. These two words go together, right? I hope you can see that. These two words all go together, right? And determiners cannot be the head of a phrase, not be the noun. And if the head of the phrase is a noun, it's a noun phrase. So a plate is a noun phrase. Very simple, I hope. Okay, our next phrase, very hot. Again, short little phrase, just two words. And we can identify those. I hope you can identify very as a qualifier. And the word hot, not too difficult. It's an adjective. Okay. So I want to identify the head of my phrase, qualifiers, right? Or we can label it determiner, a qualifier, right? But that cannot be the head of a phrase. It's going to be the adjective. That's the head of the phrase. Adjectives are going to be adjective phrases. Okay, very hot is an adjective phrase. Now let's put those two pieces together. Again, if I gave you something like a very hot plate, you would identify all four of those words, right? And what did we say? Okay, determiner, article, a qualifier, an adjective, and a noun. And if you remember, we put the qualifier and the adjective together, and we called that an adjective phrase. Now we put it all together. And when we put our determiner and our adjective phrase and our noun together, we have a noun phrase, a very hot plate. Okay, what about very quiet? We see that word very again, and we said that that was a qualifier. But now I see quietly that ly suffix should be your clue that this is not an adjective, it's an adverb. So if I put the qualifier and the adverb together, instead of an adjective phrase, I get an adverb phrase. And there you go, very quietly. Okay, let's look at a couple of these guys. Okay, he talks, very simple sentence. You're he, right? It's a subject of your sentence. It's not a noun, it's a pronoun, right? And talks, well, that one should be easy enough. That's your verb. He is talking, little different, but not too crazy different. We've still got the pronoun he. Now, is our verb. We know because it conjugates with he. If it was I, it'd be am. You are. He is. Okay? Talking is a special kind of verb. We call that the present participle. That's your ing verb. Okay? So now we have everything there. Okay? A verb by itself, like talks, is going to create a little old verb phrase all by itself. And a pronoun all by itself is going to create a noun phrase all by itself. This sentence has only two pieces, two phrases, a noun phrase and a verb phrase. Over here, we still have the pronoun he. So we have the same noun phrase, but now our verb phrase has two pieces, the main verb and the present participle. And that's going to be our verb phrase. Okay, when we have a noun phrase and a verb phrase together, those are going to combine in both cases. That's your subject and your verb, right? Subject and predicate, which makes a sentence. These are very simple sentences here. What if we add something to the sentence? Instead of just he is talking on the phone. How is that going to change things up? Let's do this. We'll start all over. Okay, he is talking on the phone. Okay, again, we want to start by identifying all the different pieces. The first few are the same as last time. Okay, so he, pronoun, verb, the present participle verb, talking. Now we've added a preposition with on, another determiner, and another noun. Just as before, right? We have the noun, the pronoun by itself, creating its own noun phrase. I see another noun phrase here, though, right? The determiner, the, and the noun phone, the phone, that's one chunk. That's a noun phrase, right? The phone is paired up with the preposition on. So we've got the chunk on the phone. Now the head of that phrase is the preposition on. So that's a prepositional phrase, right? And then talking on the phone is one chunk. If we looked at it, he is what? He is doing what? What is he doing? Talking on the phone. It's one chunk of language, right? That's a verb phrase, but it's a present participle verb phrase. It has an ing, right? And then, of course, is talking on the phone is all one chunk that belongs together, and that's your verb phrase. And you can see the last piece, the noun phrase and the verb phrase coming together to make your complete sentence. Okay? Let's take a minute to kind of check that out, digest it, see if that makes sense.